Hello everybody, welcome to yet another tutorial about frames per second and slow motion, and now we are going to talk about frames per second and slow motion in Premiere Pro. As you can see here in this overview, this is tutorial number 10, and we are, as told, going to do slow motion in Premiere Pro, and this is a quick guide, so I'm going to give you an overview of the other tutorials in the end of this tutorial. So the cool thing about Premiere Pro, this is the same as in iMovie. You choose the speed with the percent. So as everybody know, that is not really difficult. If you want half speed from 50 or 60 frames per second source file, and half speed will be 50%, and then 25 or 30 frames per second in the end result. And for sure, if you have a GoPro Hero 3, the black edition, then you can have a source file even up to 240 frames per second. And I can take an example. If you want this to be 8 times slower, as you can see here, 240 frames per second, 8 times slower, you end up with 30 frames per second. Then you put in 12.5%. And this is really nice to have an overview of that. So I made a slow motion convert table. It's not an advanced table, but it's anyway kind of really nice to have this control over frames per second and how much to slow down. So as an example, if you want to slow down a movie clip 8 times, then you have put in percent, and then you put in 12.5%. So then we can go directly to Premiere Pro. And here in Premiere Pro we have this source file, 240 frames per second shot, and this cross-country skier. And if we want this in half speed, then we just go to the source file here, right click on that one, and then go to speed duration, and then we put in percent. It's the same as in iMovie. So if we want half speed, then we put in 50%. And then we end up with duration of double speed, double duration of that, and then we have this half speed. And the half speed on this clip with 240 frames per second, I'm sure about that nobody think that's enough. We should then go for even slower speed. So then we go for we can have a look at the convert table. We can then take it 8 times slower, and then we have to put in 12.5%. Okay, then we right click here again and go to speed duration, and then we put in 12.5%. And then, as you can see, also you have this 12.5% there as well. So then we can go to the start of the timeline here and have a quick preview of that. Maybe it's a little bit laggy here because of the screen recording, but as you can see, wow, this is so super cool with this super nice slow motion from a 240 frames per second source file. Okay, we're going back to the PowerPoint presentation. As you can see here, this table here is possible, as told you, it's possible to download at yetanother-solution.blogspot.com. It's also possible to download the Windsurfer, a source file in 50 frames per second, or download a cross-country source file 240 frames per second. We just used that in the tutorial here. The reason for making you possible to download this is if you need some high frames per second source file to play around with on your software, kind of be familiar with using the software before you maybe go and buy some camera equipment or something like that. So I really hope you find this useful. And I'm going to here now give you a really quick overview over some few of the other tutorials. As you can see here, we have a quick guide in some of the other editors, and we have also been doing this more deep in tutorial number 4 and 5, and in special number 5 we have been doing slow motion in QuickTime Pro, iMovie, GoPro, Cineform, After Effects, and Premiere Pro all together, and we are more in detail had more look at the convert table as well there. And some other tutorial I really recommend is the tutorial number 2, where we are going deeper into the theory behind the frames per second, and for sure I also recommend tutorial number 3, because there we are really going in deep and have a look at the QuickTime Player 7 Pro. It's really nice to have a control over this QuickTime Player, because it's so nice to have together with some more advanced editors, because this QuickTime Player 7 Pro is lived up to its name, because it's really quick and fast to use, really nice if you have a lot of source files and want to have a quick look over all of them, and then it's really nice to have use this QuickTime Player 7 Pro. Okay, that was much about that. Okay, I think that was enough. I hope you found this useful. I hope you will be back on other tutorials later on. Bye bye.